Hello and welcome back to another Final Table review. Today we got a Bounty Hunters daily double, $10.80. Made the final table on Saturday. Boppity boo. Coming in first place. This should be a fun one to see what we can learn here today. Starting off with introductions, we got Dunkmeister, Couturier, Volk, Zhenbing, Play at My Pace. We got Kim AK, WRS, and WYZ. Then there's myself with 42 blinds. So what should our game plan be here today? With the big stack, we're going to look to apply pressure on all opponents, put all the ICM pressure on them, as they say. Try and find a good seat here as we'll get the last selection. Looks like I got a lot of respect on most players' names here. We'll try to sit by either Kim or Dunkmeister and go from there. As we see a bunch of bodies switching places. We'll have 85 blinds. That's a huge ass stack. So we can play a little bit patient with our big stack. As we look to apply the pressure on our opponents, we'll just use a lot of suited, connected stuff. And then post flop, we'll put on the max pressure. Then another thing I've been trying is from the small blind is the 3.5x raising size. That's something interesting to note. Been juicing it up just slightly. Went from 3 blinds to 3.5. I think it worked out well. So where do we want to sit here? You know what? I don't know where I want to sit. I don't know where I end up sitting, but it looks like I quickly switched spots with YWZ. And that seems to be a pretty good seat for myself. Being in position on Couturier and Volk with the big bounties. And then we got Dunkmeister to our left with another big bounty, 90 bucks on their head. We could have tried to play a little bit closer to WYZ. We could have, but we chose to elect to go by the shorter stacks, Volk and Couturier. 4-3 suited, we'll happily let this one go as we shuffle up and deal. Let's get this one going. Dunkmeister goes for the open, 2.2x. WRS goes in the tank on the first hand. We'll see them jam it all in. Hopefully Dunkmeister finds the call, get a quick ladder, or Dunkmeister loses a big pot, and that would be great news. So again, it looks like we got respect on most players' names. I remember Volk being rather a strong player. Play at my pace as well. 2 strong players. Zhenbing, I don't think I played with them, nor WRS. Dunkmeister, I believe, was rather fishy. They do got the big stack though, 3.2 million chips, so they did something right. They got a big bounty on their head, bigger than mine. So again, they did something right to get here. WYZ deep in the tank. What are we gonna do? Oh, we gotta let the cat in. Frank has come to join this morning. Hey little kitty, where'd you go? Looks like he's got to go take a dookie. WYZ still thinking this one through. Eventually lands on the call option. $54 bounty on the line. Of all the options, I wasn't expecting call. Dunkmeister finds the fold. We got an ace queen versus 10-10. Doopity doo. Jack high board. Any ace queen or deuce. Doopity doo. That looks like a queen, so we don't get any ladders. WYZ goes on tilt. WRS gets the full double plus some on top of it. Then he says you suck. I'm not too sure about that. WYZ goes deep in the tank with the 10-10. Not surprised to see that. They go bounty hunting. WRS playing 55% of holding, so I'm not surprised to see. Whoa, and look at this raise size. WRS, what are we doing there, bucko? The raise will get through pre-flop. They just make it 400k? The big blind's 60k and they made it 400? Looks like they're losing some respect quickly. Doobity doo 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 doo. See, that's a reasonable raise, 120k. WRS right back in there. Kim goes in the tank and they'll rip it all in and get it on through pre-flop. So here we are in the big blind. We got a 10 and a 2. How exciting. We will fold to any raise. Oh, how boring. WYZ comes in for the open. Snap fold on. Boppity boo. Yeah, I gotta say, I really like our seat. I like the position we're in. First place, King 6 suited. Here we go in the small blind. Hopefully it folds to us. We can put a lot of pressure on Dunkmeister, who's a tighter player. So this strategy will work out beautifully against them. We'll raise 3.5x and go from there. If we get any playback, it's very easy to just slow right down as we go for... Whoa, 3x. Misclick. I wonder if I size down because we're on the final table and the raise will put just as much pressure on Dunkmeister, who does find the fold. The King 6 raise gets it on through. Looks like he folded a 4. Speaking of a 4, 7-4 off, we'll let this one go. Kim will raise 3x from where? Early position. And face a 3-bet from Zhen Bing. Haven't heard from them just quite yet. Kim with the big raising size. They're a big fish. We'll see what they end up doing here, facing the big raise pre-flop. Wouldn't be surprised to see an all-in from Kim. Then a quick call from Zhen Bing. I don't remember what happens, but that makes a lot of sense here. Kim might also just land on the fold. I don't expect them to call ever. But they're a fish, so they might land on the call option. We're just going to have to wait and see. Yeah, the fishy play comes in. They land on the call Jack 9-8 flop. Zhen Bing will rip it all in. Ace King versus King Jack. King Jack flops a pair. 10 of diamonds on the turn. Zhen Bing needs a diamond or a queen, an ace or king. No, the king wouldn't work, sorry. We get the 5 of spades, so Kim gets a full double. Yeah, that's a fishy play there by Kim. We're mighty fine with seeing them pick up a big stack. We don't care for the ladder. We just want the weak opponents to pick up chips, take them away from the stronger opponents. And Zhen Bing showing us that they can put the pressure on with the ace king. We got a jack and a 7. We'll go for the open as it's suited and booted. It is a min open. I do like going for a 2.3x open size. But we see the open get through. Queen 9 2 flop. Doesn't matter. Ooh, ace queen super strong holding. I wouldn't be afraid to fold it here. We see Kim with the early position raise all in from Volk. And then, yeah, what do I do here? $90 bounty on the line. Let me know what you would do with the ace and the queen here. Kim shows the King Jack offsuit open. I don't think I want to play for 50 blinds or whatever, 40 blinds, whatever it is. Volk has been tight. And that's like a read from the whole final, the whole build up to the final table. So we got a fish going for the early position open. 3x is the size. I don't think we should read too much into that. I think the jam from Volk is strong. This is going to be a pocket pair 9s plus ace king. And Kim finds the fold. So we'll never know if the ace queen would have been good there. But yeah, certainly Kim should have found the call. We should have seen the bad news. Should have seen if we would have made a straight or not. If the ace queen was suited, would I go with it? That's a very difficult question. Again, we're playing so deep with Kim that I don't know what to do. Here we go with the ace queen suited. If we're going to go for the min open earlier, I like sticking with the strategy. We'll just go for the min open. And then we're going to do a lot of folding, I think, facing 3-bets. Do we ever call and play post flop? I suppose so, depending on who does the 3-betting. Like if play at my pace rips, I think I fold. WRS goes for the 3-bet. We're quite happy to play call. Same with WYZ. Kim, I don't know about that. I think Kim's going to play a lot of calls. Zhen Bing, if they 3-bet, that's pretty scary. We get 2 callers and an 8-7-2 flop. What do I think about this board? It's not the best for me. Looks like I'm sizing up a Betsky. In the end, we'll land on the check. I think a bet would get through quite often here. If not on the flop, maybe on the turn, as I'm going to call this super small bet here. 2 overs, backdoor nut flush draw. I'm not a big fan of how I played this hand. I think I should have just went for the bet. Just made it 3 big blinds. And go from there. 5 of hearts on the turn. Yeah, now we got ourselves in a pickle. 6-9 made a straight. That shouldn't be in WYZ's holdings unless it's suited and booted. 6-4, maybe just as likely as we see another small bet. So we're just getting like milked here. This is a little disgusting. 9 on the river, so a 1-liner to a 6. Jack 10 makes a straight. Goes check check, and we're losing here to 5-5, which makes a set on the turn. So we would have lost more money had we done the betting, but with that being said, I still would have preferred to see the bets go in from my position. Just go for the bet on the flop. Maybe we'll get WYZ to fold the 5s. Had we seen the heart on the turn, we would have continued with a big barrel. WYZ would have played call or raise, and we would have gone to the river or folded on the turn and lost a bigger pot, but I still would have preferred that action instead of the check call line for cheap. So it's super interesting. I managed to save myself a bunch of chips there by check calling. King 8 suited under the gun, we'll just let go, even though we could go for the open. Dunkmeister in the tank. So that I had a couple of ace queens. Let me know what you do with the ace queen there. Ace queen suited. I think a bet on the flop makes a lot of sense. Continuing to barrel on the turn makes a lot of sense. I played check call, and I suppose that just kept the pot smaller. 10-3-3 flop. Dunkmeister versus WYZ. Get a bet and a call. Jack on the turn. Dunkmeister continues to tell the story. WYZ comes along to the river. We get another 3. Dunkmeister will check. WYZ checks. Ace King versus Queen 10. And about 1.2 million chips, sorry. I almost said 1,200. 1.2 million chips slides WYZ's way, and then we get an ace and a jack in the big blind. There's going to be some very difficult situations facing Volk and Couturier. I think this could get all in pre-flop. If there's a raise from WYZ, which there is, a Volk jam, I suppose I just fold. Zhen Bing finds the call. We could go for the 3-bet bluff here. Ace Jack is also super playable, so we'll just go post-flop. Queen 6-5. Not much doing. 6 on the turn. Good card for us, but not good card for our holding, so we'll just check it on over. WYZ will put in a small bet here, 1.5 blinds. Zhen Bing finds the call. I could always come along to the river, but man, this is super weird. 7 of spades. We have no draw. Ace high. If ace jack is good, I'd be a little surprised. There could be some sort of 8-9 straight draw, and then the flush draw as well on the turn. But if we're just playing a guessing game on the river with ace jack, we'll just find the fold on the turn. So the flush completes. 8-9 makes a straight. Zhen Bing sees a check from WYZ and takes the pot down with the bet ski. Ace-8 suited in the small. We'll see how things go. I think I like continuing with the 3x raise with the very playable Ace-8 suited. Once we get a WYZ open, a Zhen Bing call, another spot where we could 3-bet as a bluff. We could take this post flop as well with the suited Ace-X. If Dunkmeister 3-bets, we have an easy fold. 10-9 2 flop. I think a 3-bet bluff actually makes a whole lot of sense as we see WYZ go for the big bet on the flop here. 5 blinds into 9.3. And the bet will get through. WYZ shows the Ace-10, so I don't know how the 3-bet would have worked out. Had WYZ called pre-flop, they certainly would have been calling on the flop. And I don't think we're getting Ace-10 to fold at any point. WYZ with another open, Ace-Deuce suited. Again, I would like to see a 3-bet. Don't fold. We land on the fold option. So we're certainly going to have to pick a spot here to go for a light 3-bet against WYZ as they're slowly accumulating chips. And we've lost about 500k. 8-6 suited, a playable holding. Kim goes for the 3x raise. We'll just let it go. Play at my pace goes in the tank. In the end, they land on the fold. Ace-King for Kim. 8 and a 3. We're going to wait for a better hand. Something with some playability. Man, I wish that Ace-Deuce went for a 3-bet pre-flop. I think we could have got Ace-10 to fold the more I think the more I think about it. 10-8 off. We'll just let this one go. It's got a little bit of playability, but we're raising from the hijack. Oh wait, is there an, what the hell? No, we'd be from the low jack, my apologies. As we see Dunkmeister go for the open from the hijack, Kim 3-bets from the big blind. And Dunkmeister will just find the fold. Kim shows the Ace-Queen off. Ace-2, I think we're just letting this one go. Doesn't flop very well. Volk rips it all in. Easy fold for us. Do 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 do. Ace-3, we'll let this go. Again, just like the Ace-2 offsuit, it doesn't play very well. If you flop top pair, cool, but you're still going to try to keep the pot small. And then there's all the other flops where you just completely whiff and you have Ace-High with some shitty kicker. We see Zhen Bing go for the mint open from the small blind. That's disrespectful to Volk, who has to find the fold. 9-7 off under the gun. We'll let it go. Doobity-doo. Should make sure we're recording, but I don't want to move the mouse. I'm in a pickle. We're just going to move on along. And hopefully we're recording. Oh, it bugs me so much. Anyways, Dunkmeister goes for the open and gets one through pre-flop. Play at my pace is sitting out. Now they're back. That's good to note. 6-3 off in the big blind. We'll have an easy fold. Easy fold. So I'm surprised we've seen WRS slow right down. They had a VPIP of 53%, and now they're playing what, Ace-Queen, and that was about it. As we see Kim go for another 3x open. Looks like they've been loaded up with the hands. Volk will rip it all in. You would imagine Kim is calling, but they did fold to a very small jam earlier. They are going to get it all in this time. Jack 10 off? What the fuck? Aces. Volk has 95%. Jack 10 offsuit. What the hell is that call? Jack 3 in the small blind. If it folds to us, we should go for that 3.5x raise. Maybe just go 3 blinds to keep consistent. We'll see what happens as it does fold around to us this time. There's the 3.5x raise. No misclick this time. And the raise will get through. Ace and a 5 on the button. If folded to, we have a pretty easy open. Doobity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's go for our min open. If we face a 3-bet, we have an easy fold. Doobity-doo, we'll just get the raise through pre. So 475k, we're not too far from where we started. Haven't done any accumulating, only played a few hands. Blinds have gone up a few times, we're sitting at 60 blinds now. Dunkmeister gets the chance to raise from the button. We'll see if they elect to, and they do. Play at my pace, we'll rip it all in. $66 bounty on the line. Oh, and we quickly see who's watching. Wanted to see if Michaela was watching. She had just woken up. Doobity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Dibbity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Jack 8 suited. Oh, I don't like this. We shouldn't fold. Oh, he tried to click the raise, or he tried to click the unfold button. Yeah, I'm quite upset. Look at me wiggle the mouse. I missed an open and I'm super upset about it. King 6-2 flop. We would have completely whiffed, but I'm very upset about folding the Jack 8 suited right now. WYZ will lead on out. Very interesting play. It's rather fishy. Sometimes people can build strong strategies around leads, but at these low stakes, it's typically fishy. If this was a bigger stakes tournament, then of course I wouldn't be saying the lead's fishy, but the final table of $11 tournament, I'm guessing it's fishy as Dunkmeister goes for a little bit more than the min raise. Looks like, what, 2.5x? And WYZ folds and shows the 6. Ooh, ace queen. No open before us, so we'll get the chance to raise it on up. If play at my pace jams, what a weird spot we'll be in. If WRS jams, again another weird spot. I don't really know what to do. Sitting in the moment here and now. It's early in the morning. I'd be super confused if I were on the final table and I faced an all-in with the ace-queen offsuit right now. Dunkmeister goes deep in the tank with 32 blinds, and the raise will get through the 3 players who have position on us, so that's good news. WYZ will also let their hand hit the muck. If Kim jams, I might fold because they have a $7.50 bounty. I think there would be a lot of pocket pairs than the ace-king. I don't think they take ace-jack offsuit and rip it all in. I think they just play it post-flop. As we go for the c-bet on the king 9-6 flop. And take it down with the ace-queen. We're back up to 5 million chips. Ace-jack suited. Another playable holding. We'll go for another open. And then we're in the exact same spot where I don't know what to do if we face a 3-bet, but likely fold. Do-bitty-do-do-do-do-do. King 7-2 flop. We don't even get to see it. Or we did get to see it, but nobody paid to see it, so we'll just take down the blinds and antes. 5.2 million chips. Do 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 biddy do do. Folds around a Kim on the button. They'll just land on the fold option. Zhen Bing in the small blind. We'll see if they go for the big raise again. They limp it on in this time. Volk checks it back. Ace 8 2 flop. Zhen Bing in the tank will lead on out. This isn't fishy. The situation's much different blind on blind. Ace high board. Zhen Bing says we'll take a stab, and the stab gets through. Jack 10 off. I suppose we could go for an open. I elect to fold. Couturier in the big blind has about 5 bigs in total, so that's why I think we would go for the open here. Jack 10 offsuit. In the end, we just land on the fold. Dunkmeister. Doopity doo, doopity doo. Opens it up. It's only a $30 bounty on the line, so that's not too enticing, but it's only 400k to gamble. So maybe the Jack 10 off should have came in for the open. Do 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 do. Couturier will land on the fold. Boppity boo, boppity boo. King Queen off in the big blind. This is a very playable holding. There could be some 3 bets to buy the pot pre-flop. I also like to call and take it post-flop. If Volk raises, we're in a weird spot. We could just rip it all in for 22 blinds. We could also just land on the call option. I think jamming actually plays best. 10-5-4 flop. Do we just check fold? No diamond in our hand? Volk has been tight. King on the turn. What do we do here? I do like check calling now, as Volk's gonna have all the better king X, the ace king. There's still plenty of worse king X that they can have. We'll land on the call. 7 of diamonds on the river. We really hope it goes check check. I could also go for a block bet. Try to get called by 10x, the worst king X. Pick our price against the better king X against diamonds. We do land on the block bet. And Volk folds. I would presume a pocket pair of some sort. So had we ripped it all in pre-flop, or some sort of ace high, maybe a suited ace X that wasn't connected to the board, no diamonds. Do. I wonder what that person just said right there. In the end, we're up to 5.6 mil, and we get a couple of jacks. Very strong holding, the 4th best hand in poker. Again, if a raise comes in, a 3-bet for fun looks good. A call is also possible. Zhen Bing does put in a 50% attempt to steal number there. So we're going to land on the call, which is interesting. I think we should have went for the 3-bet pre-flop, put the pressure on Zhen Bing. Said we see a 6-5-4 flop. I do like taking hands post-flop. We'll go for a little bet ski on the flop here. See what size I go for. I do go for the little size. We could also size up and pick the 66% size. Zhen Bing quickly calls 8 on the turn. Bad news is there's a 1-liner to a 7. There's the flush draw. We got Jack without a spade. 5 on the river. I don't know if I fold if Zhen Bing leads, although it's likely going to be a 7. They also could have some sort of missed Broadway holding as we'll check it down. Ace Jack for Zhen Bing, and Jack wins the pot. Had we 3-bet pre-flop, Zhen Bing will just fold. So we did get a little juicer bet on the flop out of Zhen Bing by taking it post-flop. So let me know what you think about the Jack. Should we just call pre-flop? Do we 3-bet? It's very interesting. I like playing post-flop, so I landed on the call. In the end, 6.1 million chips and we're moving along. WRS gonna rip it all in from the small blind for about 20 bigs, and the jam will get through. Looks like a little bit more than 20 bigs. 8 and a 3 will find the fold. Doopity doo, da doopity doo. So we got a nice commanding lead on the table, 30 blinds more than everybody. That's good to note. We'll see how long we can last in this position. WRS for 27 blinds will rip it all in and likely get it through pre. This is fishy here. WRS is shown to not be the strongest of players, but to be fair, we got Couturier sitting there with 3 big blinds, so ICM pressure should be on WRS like a madman. But so I don't know what to say about this jam. Play at my pace says you suck, and I think they're talking to WYZ. Once again, saying you suck to WYZ. WRS, we do slap on the slightly less respectful tag. Play at my pace is tired, says hurry on up. It was kind of cool. This tournament starts at, I believe, 1:30 in the morning. So we'll get to see a lot of different time zones. We got the New Zealand flag, a British flag, a couple of Chinese flags out there, then a few that I can't recognize. The Japanese flag I see. So play with people across the world, that's good to note. But then when you're playing against people in the same time zone as you, sometimes they're either drunk or they're too tired to play, so then they just give up midway. So play at my pace. I don't quite remember what the conversion is in the time zones, but they might be getting tired or a little bit bored or a little bit drunk. As we see King Jack for Volk needing a 10 to survive, or a diamond. Looks like a queen of spades, so WYZ will get the knockout, making a full house. And we're going to lose Volk. Doopity doo 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 doo. 6 and a 2 will find the fold. Couturier says goodbye. Goodbye. They've got 2 big blinds. They must have a shitty holding. So 136 bucks locked up. That really doesn't matter. We're looking at the 890 for first place, plus all the bounties on top of it. It would be a beautiful payday. WYZ will go for the open. I'd imagine Zhenbing calls here with just about any 2 cards, and then Couturier will stick it in as well. Zhenbing does find the call. Couturier will call. 10-6-5 flop. WYZ will go for the little betski. Zhenbing will fold. 7-7 versus Ace-10. Top pair for Couturier. Ooh, 8 on the turn. 9-4 or 7 for WYZ to get the knockout. Looks clean. A deuce of hearts on the river. Couturier gets the triple up. We would have made 2 pairs with the 6-2. 3 and a 3 in the big blind. Look to take this one post flop. We see Dunkmeister go for the open under the gun. Do we ever just rip it on him? I don't think so. Their VPIP is 19%. They've been pretty active on the final table. But again, I think they're a weak opponent that we can take advantage of post flop, so we'll play call. 8-7-5 flop. We could always go for the check raise bluff, but we don't have a great reason to. Do we check call? What a weird spot with 3-3. I actually don't know what to do here. We could also just fold and preserve our chips, look for a better spot. Even though it's a fair board for the big blind, the 3-3 under pair to the board will just hit the muck. 6-2 suited in the small blind. If folded to, I like our 3x raise. I think we can size down now that Dunkmeister's at 28 blinds. I looked at my stack for Dunkmeister's stack. So 29 blinds for Dunkmeister. We'll go for the 3x raise and take it down pre. 9-9. Doobity doo doobity doo 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 doo. Play at my pace is ready to go all in, it looks like. My last hand, they keep saying. Couple of 9s will raise. Get ready to call an all in. If Dunkmeister jams, it's really weird, but I think I would still land on the call. It would be a huge pot as play at my pace finds the fold. 5-3-2 flop. 9s would have been clean, or it would have been clean for 9s. No emoji will be sent back. Play at my pace. Sitting there with about 12 big blinds. We got a king and a 6 offsuit. We could always raise, but I want to play suited or some sort of connected stuff. Not going to just randomly raise up a king X here. Even though this is the kind of spot where we have the opportunity to raise junky ass hands such as king 6 off. So king 6 off doesn't it becomes less junky in this spot. Play at my pace will rip it all in from the small. WRS in the big blind. Sees a $66 bounty on the line. WRS finds the fold and play at my pace shows a deuce. Got one through there pre-flop. Queen 6 suited. Ooh, do we open it? I don't mind an open. Ah, shit, we land on the fold. It would be wide, if I'm being honest with you. Doobity-doo. But it looks like we could have got one through. Would have flopped a pair of queens. Man, if I could go back in time, the queen 6 suited would be an open 8-5 one seat over. I do feel like folding. Queen 6 we got a Broadway. This hand was suited and connected. 8-5 suited we could play. Look to put a lot of pressure on our opponents, but we land on the fold option. WYZ will go for the min raise. Kim will rip it all in for that small ass bounty, $7.50. Hopefully WYZ knocks them out, gets them Gonzo Alonzo, or Kim picks up a big stack. That would also be good news as they're a fishy player. Ace King for Kim. Man, they've picked up quite a few good hands, but unfortunately they haven't been able to pick up a big stack as they ripped it, or they got it all in with Jack 10 versus aces. Had they not done that, they probably would have been in a much better situation. WYZ will open it on up. Kim thinking things through. We'll find the fold. Zhen Bing in the big blind. Playing with 19 blinds. Has put on a strong game, and this raise is pretty strong. Makes it 5 blinds to go. WYZ will rip it all in, and Zhen Bing will get it all in. WYZ calls for the last blind. Ace King versus Ace 5 offsuit. Pretty bad. So sick. No, WYZ, that was just a horrific play. Ace 5 offsuit is not Ace 5 suited. Nine 5. We'll find the fold. Zhen Bing deserves the stack they've built. And we should be a little worried about playing against them, as they'll be on the button, we'll be in the big blind. Excuse me. WRS will get a raise through pre. But as I was saying, Zhen Bing, when they're on the button, will be in the big blind. Such as this situation right here. 7-6 offsuit. Playable, but I don't know what to do against Zhen Bing if I'm being honest. We got a strong opponent who's got position on us. We see Dunkmeister go for the min. Nope, a little bit more in the min open pre-flop. 2.2x. Do we even call? Dunkmeister's been quite active from under the gun, but they might just be picking up strong holdings. I wouldn't be surprised to see a fold. We could also call and take a post flop. Would have flopped a straight draw. But again, I wanted to take or show a little respect to the fishes under the gun raise. So I'm gonna play suited connected stuff. 7-6 offsuit. Will just be a tight fold. But you know, from the small blind on blind, we'll go for the 3x raise with 10-5 suited. The situation is just so much different where we get to pretend we've got the strong holdings, and the other hand, we get to pretend that, or we don't get to pretend that we have the strong holdings from the big blind facing the under the gun raise. We flop a pair of 10s here. This is interesting. Start things off with a check. That seems reasonable. We don't want to see a bet, but we'll have to check call. Got the backdoor diamond draw. We got the pair of 10s. 9 on the turn. Not a great card as Queen Jack makes a straight. Jack 8 makes a straight, as well as 8-6. So lots of shit gets there. We don't pick up any equity. 7-9 makes 2 pair. I don't think 7-9 would be betting on the flop. But Dunkmeister does go for a third pot size bet on the turn, and I think I'm just folding. The whole final table we've been going for the 3x raise or 3.5x raise from the small blind. This is the first time Dunkmeister finds the call. It's a king high board. We'll just show some respect. You either got that top pair of kings or maybe a better 10x. Going for a juicer bet. Just trying to milk me. Potentially so. King 7 on the button. If folded to, we should go for the open. Kim in the tank. Doesn't look like they're gonna let this one go. Hurry up though. No need to take all this time here, Kim. Just quickly get your action completed. They find the fold. Their eyes must have been away from the screen. Potentially they went to bed as we're going to raise the king 7 off. If play at my pace jams, we have an easy fold. If Dunkmeister's 3 bets from the small, easy fold. We'll stab on a lot of flops. Ace 10 8, that would have been our board to bet and take the pot. Ace 3 suited. Very playable holding. If Zhen Bing comes in for the raise, we should 3-bet. Folds to us, we'll go for the min open. If play at my pace jams, I actually don't know what to do. They got 10 blinds in total. It'd be 8 more to call. We see a WRS jam and we'll swiftly fold. King 6 5 flop wouldn't have been good news for us. So 5.6 million chips will swiftly move along. Jack 3 suited. Once folded to, we'll just fold. Excuse me. WRS limping in. WYZ checks it back. Ace, Queen, Jack, flop goes bet call, 4 on the turn. Bunch of bets from WRS, a bunch of calls from WYZ, 7 high versus a pair of aces, and WYZ takes a nice pot. 12 blinds in total, and they're back sitting pretty, and we get another break. Returning from break, we get a queen and a 5, we'll just happily fold. 5.5 million chips, so only 500k we've picked up so far. That's bad news. Only lost 1 body so far. Couturier looking to stick in there 2.5 blinds. And put that $30 bounty on the line. Or they're just coming back from break. And they're taking a while. How boring. They do land on the fold. Play at my pace with 9 blinds. We'll see if they rip it all in. They do. WYZ. Thinking things through. We'll go for the raise with the ace and the jack. Ace king for play at my pace. Any jack stealer. Any jacks. Ooh, a 10 would also work now. A 10 or a jack or play at my pace gets the full double. Looks like the double comes on in. 20 blinds for play at my pace. Do 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 bitty do do. 10 and a 5 will find the fold. Couturier in the tank. Once again. They are going to go for the open here. Saved themselves 0.3 big blinds, but they're pretty well all in. Play at my pace will fold. WRS follows suit. Same with WYZ and Kim. Zhen Bing will surely stick it in, getting the great price and the opportunity for a $30 bounty. No matter what they have, they're all in. 10-2 suited versus Ace 8 suited. 10 or a 2. A 10 or a 2, or Couturier gets the full double. Oh, that could be a 10. That is a 10, and just like that, Zhen Bing will get the knockout. Had we played the 10-5, we would have got the knockout. Boopity boo, bop boppity boo. 5-4 suited in the big blind. Looks like a defending hand. We'll see who goes for the open, and we'll see what size it is. I don't want to call a 3x open. We see a min raise from WRS. We will call that. And go from there. If Kim rips, we have an easy fold. But it does just come along to us in the big blind. Do 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 bitty do do do. 10-8 2 flop. We go for the check fold. 6 on the turn. Now we got a double gutter for a 3 or a 7. Let's go for the Betsky. What size do we go? We need to size up a river jam. 3 blinds looks great. Maybe a little bit more. We go 3.1x or 3.1 big blinds, and we take it down. Ooh, almost showed the bluff, but we are not going to, as we want to keep respect from the table. Or we want to keep respect from the table. Did I say that sentence twice the same way? I want respect from the table. Jack 5 off, we'll just find the fold. Dunkmeister gets a walk, and I don't know if I should have let him have it. King 4 off. This shouldn't be a snap fold. No, it should not. We should go for the open. There we go. We do unclick the fold button. Kim will rip it all in, play at my pace. Gets the opportunity for the bounty, but they don't have any holding, so they find the fold. And again, it's a $7.50 bounty. Nobody's going to really care about it. 9-8 offsuit will raise if folded to. Other than that, not much happening here. WYZ goes for the open, so we'll just find the fold. Do buddy do buddy do 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 buddy do do buddy do do do. So Zhen Bing up to 4.1 million chips. That's kind of scary to see. Dunkmeister hanging in at 3.5 mil. Not scary to see. Play at my pace with 2.2 mil. That's pretty terrifying. But then we like our table. We got WYZ, who we've now established is playing rather fishy. Same with WRS. Then we got Kim, who's just again like right from the get-go has been noted as an uberfish. Dunkmeister, just the opponent that I've got a good read on. I'm in their head, I think. Anyways, we're swiftly moving along. WRS will rip it all in for about, what is that, 12 blinds, 13 blinds? WYZ gonna think this one out. $54 bounty on the line. Look at WYZ's bounty, 156 bucks on their head. They've done a good job of accumulating bounties, as we haven't gotten one on the final table just quite yet. WYZ, boppity boo, boppity bee. Really in the tank here. This is getting kind of boring, WYZ. Hurry up and find the call. What do you got, a couple of kings? You don't know if you should call or not? Doobity doo 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 doo. WYZ wasting a lot of time here, finds the fold. You ever see people collude on GG? It's kind of interesting. I see it a lot in people from places that are across the world. They like to talk in their foreign language, foreign to me, and then they literally talk about colluding, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not accusing one country of doing it, but rather I've seen it happen from many different countries. It seems like a lot of fishy players will openly collude on GG. It's kind of funny. WYZ on the button. We'll just fold Kim in the small blind. We'll walk out Zhen Bing. 7 deuce for play at my pace. Do 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 biddy do 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 biddy do do do. 10-4 off in the big blind, facing the all-in from WRS. We have an easy fold. $54 bounty on the line. We'll see if Zhen Bing goes for it. We see Kim go all in. This is very, very strong. And Zhen Bing's in there as well with ace king. 6s and ace 9. Ace or a king and Zhen Bing gets a double bounty. Sweat the 6. 6 on the turn. Boppity boo, boppity boo. So WRS is going to get the full double. Zhen Bing will lose the entire pot. That's all going to WRS, so that's just great news for us. As WRS, a fishy player, picks up a huge pot. Zhen Bing is down to 16 blinds, and we're quite ecstatic about that as we've got 40. So we're still in first place, no bounties for us, that's mighty fine. Other than that, we're just hanging on out, looking to put some pressure on Dunkmeister. Hopefully we get the opportunity, not this time. Play at my pace, will rip in there, 14 big blind stack. King 6 off. We could have went for our 3x raise from the small blind, and play at my pace, we'll get the jam through. Do 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 biddy do do. Ace jack suited, super strong hand. Ooh, look at this raise here. WRS goes for the 3x raise. I like a call. We could also go for the raise pre-flop. This hand is going to be interesting. I can already note. WRS, their VPIP is 49%. They got the big stack. Play at my pace. If you rip it all in, I gotta say I'm rather concerned. We see a 10-10-5 flop. What the hell do we do here? Do we just fold on the flop? Well, facing that small ass bet, we can't fold. Feels like we're getting milked though. Feels like I'm getting milked by ace king, if I'm being completely honest. Get the 4 of hearts on the turn. Another min bet. Do we just fold? Like, what the hell do we do? Do we go for the raise? Turn our hand into a bluff? I can tell you I don't feel comfortable about this hand. We do find the fold on the turn. Nicely done. Man, it just feels like we're getting milked as there's a 4 on the river. We probably would have chopped the pot with ace king. Let me know what you would have done there. It feels like some sort of like 8s or 7s. Some sort of hand that... I think it's more so ace king. The 3x raise pre-flop from a fish is just typically super strong holding. And then the min bet on the flop indicates to me that they missed it. So they got some sort of ace king, ace queen. Do they potentially have some sort of pocket pair again, like some sort of 9s? A strong hand pre-flop, kind of misses on the flop, 10 high board. Flush draw out there, WRS might play it a little bit scared. Go for the min bet. You know, I'm really not too sure what to do with the ace jack there. We missed the flop. We're facing these min bets. WRS anyways in the end is in first place. We got 5.2 million chips. We're still sitting pretty in second. Jack 5-3 flop. Boppity boo. Goes check. WYZ is thinking. WYZ, hurry on up. They will land on the check option. And Zhen Bing will check as well. WRS bets 300k on the king turn that completes the flush. Zhenbing will land on the call option. 10 of clubs on the river. So there's 4 clubs out there. Zhenbing sizing up a bet. They make it 300k. Super quick call from WRS. The queen of clubs for two pair. Nice pot going Zhenbing's way. Do 7-6 offsuit will find the fold. That ace jack suited. I'm still thinking about it. I really don't know what to say. Do I call again on the turn? Do we end up chopping the pot on the river? Let me tell you, it feels like ace king. Ace queen versus ace 8 will get it all in here. WRS just rips it all in pre-flop. For the $156 bounty, we got chop outs. Doopity-doo, 7 or a 3. Looks clean for WRS, who's going to get the knockout and the big pot. The big bounty on top of it. Do. Nice hand from play at my pace. I don't know. Good play. Just to rip it all in pre-flop, I don't know. It worked out in their favor. That's for sure. Look at them with that 7.8 million chip stack. $136 bounty on their head. We got a king and a 3. We'll go for the raise. Do we ever limp it on in here? Looks like we're going to change up the sizing. 2.8 blinds. As we're playing 20 blinds deep, and the raise will get through. So that does make sense. The shorter we get, the smaller my raise becomes. From the small blind there, ace 7 offsuit will raise it folded too. If Zhenbing opens, I think we just fold. We could always 3-bet as a bluff. But you know that's not likely gonna come in from me. We do go for the open if play at my pace rips or Dunkmeister rips. We just fold. But we'll get our raise through pre. 10-2, easy fold. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Do. Play at my pace in the tank. Playing off 13 blinds. Might rip it all in here. There's the all-in and a quick call from WRS. Ace 4 versus 8-8. Any aces dealer? One on the flop. That will do. Any diamonds? Nope, just an 8 for WRS. Play at my pace. Gets the full double. No 8 on the river. Boppity boo. $26 blinds for play at my pace, and we lower the respect tag with the ace 4 jam. Even though, to be fair, it looks pretty clean. Play at my pace was in last place. WRS just so happened to wake up with a pocket pair. So we got $350 locked up. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Dunkmeister's all in. And a quick call from Zhenbing. Ace 7 versus King King. 5.7 million chip pot. Any aces dealer? Nope, not yet. It looks like the kings are gonna hold. No ace on the river. Dunkmeister's Gonzo Alonzo. Jack 7 in the big blind. I don't know if we want to play this one, as we see stacks have evened up quite a bit. We still have our 5 million chips. Play at my pace with 4, WRS with 5.7, Zhenbing with 6.2 mil. So we're in third place. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Started this bad boy off in first. It looked like we were going to be able to scoop a bounty or two. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened just quite yet. King 9 off in the small blind. I wonder if I change up the game plan in the small blind facing play at my pace. I think as we've seen the final table progress, I still like a 3x raise from the small blind playing 25 blinds deep. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Blinds go up, so now we would switch it on up. We'd go a little bit smaller going forward. From the button, we'll go for the min raises. For Zhenbing, I don't know if we're going to play any small 3-bets other than with like aces, kings, queens. Then what, ace, king suited. Maybe some ace 5 suited as a bluff as well. But other than that, I think we're going to do a lot of ripping versus Zhen Bing's opens. Look to get back in the game, reestablish our first place position. Do-bitty-do, WRS will min raise from the small blind. Typically, this is a very disrespectful play as we're playing pretty deep, about 30 blinds. Zhen Big will find the call, 7-7-6 flop goes, bet. Let's see some action here, Zhen. They do find the call, ace on the turn. WRS will bet once again, 500k, about a third pot. And Zhen Bing goes for the min raise. Another disrespectful play happening here. WRS will find the fold. Do-do-do-do-do-do-bitty-do-do-do. Jack 4 suited in the big blind. I don't know if we play this one. Four-handed. Play at my pace opens. I think we just fold. WRS, do we just fold? I think we're just folding. Zhen Bing raises 2.5 blinds. Looks like they're going to try to apply the pressure on us, and we'll just let them have it. 5-4-2 flop. Would have flopped an open-ended straight draw. Boppity-boo, boppity-bee. 6-3 in the small. Zhen Bing will open. Doobity-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Play at my pace is in the tank. Rip it all in and take it down pre. They do rip it all in. And Zhen Bing goes in the tank here. Will they call? No, they just land on the fold option. King 7 offsuit. We could go for a 3-bet bluff. That would be pretty cool. 25 blinds. We could make it 6. Even 5.5. Could go a little bit smaller. Ace 6-3 flop. Zhen Bing will bet small and take the pot down. 9-6 suited. We could go for the open here. Good morning.
I forgot I was digital Charlotte. I'd be over before school with her present.
Oh, so you gotta do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be back in like 15 minutes.
Alrighty. But say happy birthday.
Will do.
Play at my pace, rips it all in, and takes it down pre. King 5 suited in the big blind. Looks like a defending hand. There's a min open. We just play call. Hopefully Zhen Bing limps it on in. We see the open from WRS. Certainly this is a call. Don't you dare fold. We got to proceed with caution. We get a 7-7-2 flop. One club out there. Hopefully WRS checks it back, and they do not. 6 on the turn and 4 on the river. Not our hand. Not for us to win. Not this time. Nope. 9 deuce suited. We see another 2.5 X-rays from WRS. They'll take it down pre. Do 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 bitty do 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 bitty do 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 bitty do. Ace 6 offsuit will raise on the button. Do 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 bitty do do do. WRS in the big blind will just fold. We get a walk, or we don't get a walk. We get one through pre-flop. There we go. 4.6 million chips. A 4 and a 2 will happily fold. Do bitty do. Do do bitty do. WRS is gonna limp this one on in. Do 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 bitty do. Do 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 do. Do 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 bitty do. Do 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 bitty do. Limp raise. Rip it all in, WRS. No, they just find the fold. 4-4 in the big blind. We'll see what happens here. I don't quite know what to do with the 4s, if I'm being honest with you. We see a 2.5x raise. 4-4. We could call and take it post flop. We could go for a 3-bet all in. We do land on the 3-bet all in. Let me know if this is too wide. I'm playing for first place, if we're being honest. And WRS has been raising a little bit too much. The jam gets through. We take one down pre-flop. 8-3 in the small. We'll just fold and walk out, play at my pace. I don't know why I showed the 8-3 off. Just to let play at my pace know that I had a shit holding as blinds go up. Do. So 20 blinds for us, 30 blinds for Zhen Bing. WRS with 19 will rip it all in, facing the limp, play at my pace. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Play at my pace as so sick. We'll certainly land on the fold in the end. Don't even know what they had. 4-2 for donk. We'll find the fold. Boppity boo. Boppity boo. Play at my pace, thinking things through off the 15 big blind stack. Hurry up and do something. Wasting their time bank, they land on the call. Zhen Bing in the big blind. We'll check it on back. 9-8, 6 flop. This looks to be a good board for Zhen Bing. Play at my pace recognizes that, checks it on back, 9 on the turn. Zhen Bing will lead on out, play at my pace goes in the tank. They do find the call. Deuce on the river. I'd imagine Zhen Bing is gonna bet here. I'd imagine play at my pace is gonna fold like some sort of flush draw. Some sort of ace high. Do they ever have like 7-7? They might find the call. It's a super small bet. We're gonna see. Play at my pace says no, this is a milky bet. And they'll find the fold. 8-6 off in the big blind. Not too exciting. I don't think we defend. Hopefully Zhen Bing limps it on in. They go for the 2.5x raise once again. Excuse me. I think we just fold. 10-10 in the small blind. Looks like an easy jam. Zhen Bing will raise it on up. Do we ever make it a smaller sizing? We're playing 20 blinds deep with Zhen Bing. I don't think so. I think it's just an all-in from the small blind. Let me know what you think about it. Zhen Bing snap calls. And they got old Johnny Rockets. 10 million chips in the middle. We're going to need to smack a 10 or we're Gonzo Alonzo. Jack on the turn. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Peel it. Let's go. Ace on the river. Zhen Bing gets the bounty and the big stack. Play at my pace says what the fuck. I mean, I thought that was pretty standard. 10-10 rips it all in for 20 blinds. Zhen Bing with the aces. Just like that, we get 4th place. So pretty unfortunate happening. Coming on in first place, we don't get any bounties. Get 4th place out of 2,100 players. Pretty unfortunate, but in the end, what can you do when you're stuck in a shoe? So I suppose that's the end of the show. If you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you got any suggestions for improvements on the show or improvements on my play, I'll happily take both of those. But with all that bullshit being said, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully we'll see you in another video. Until then, adios amigos.